Welcome on board episode 6, the final episode of my Sky Princess Moroccan Passage cruise, not calling at Morocco or the Azores and not featuring the best Wi-Fi at sea or the medallion class, as these were not available as advertised during our 60 nights on board. Saturday the 26th of March, I attended an enrichment presentation on Cunard's legendary liners by Fran Schneider, Deal or No Deal game show, the Great Egg Drop Challenge, and Showtime with the absolutely hilarious Jeff Stevenson. Breakfast started with half a grapefruit and scrambled eggs with green asparagus and Swiss cheese with gratinated potatoes. Deal or No Deal was done very well, and I wish I had attended when it premiered early in the voyage. If you are on board in the future, I'd recommend attending and taking part if you have the opportunity.
I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home.
Are you ready, Margaret? Oz, are you ready?
I am ready.
Audience, are you ready? In 3, 2, 1, drop the end!
I gotta say though, the landing was very smooth. So very softly.
Tell us all the suspense.
The egg is alive!
Drop your egg in 3, 2, 1, go! Oh.
Did you guys feel that? That was like
That did not sound promising.
I saw most McDonald's. Okay, let us open it.
Vix just said it's going to take you 5 minutes to open it. Good luck. It's protected by foot knots. Okay. Thank you. We love the sound effects.
It's alive!
Let's go! Well done, Vic. Our second contestant to pass the test. Good job. Come on down to give you a prize at the end. 3, 2, 1!
Baby, I got you. No matter the distance, no matter the route. Yeah. Baby, I got you. When you feel like
In the evening, I saw Jeff Stevenson, who was once again on point, and I haven't laughed so much for years. Jeff was one of the highlights of the cruise. Tonight, I got to go in the Vista Lounge for the first time to see Jeff, which otherwise had been closed for elite passengers only. After the show, I returned to my stateroom to find a letter requesting guests to wear KN95 masks in all indoor areas, as some people on Sky Princess were now COVID-19 positive. Sunday the 27th of March, our final day on board.
yeah, baby, I got you.
I enjoyed watching a culinary demonstration in the theatre. I think this is the first one I've had the opportunity to see on a ship. I spent the last of my onboard credit in the shops. Other than that, there wasn't an awful lot to do today other than pack. Oh yes, and eat cake up in the buffet. I have to mention the keema curry in the buffet too. This was spicy and delicious, one of the best dishes I have had in any cruise ship buffet. Every so often on board the food is absolutely amazing. It's just a shame the usual standard leaves a lot to be desired. Having said that, the menu choices are certainly unusual. I am unsure where a lot of the dishes originate from. I assume America. There are some unique foods to try.
Deck 16, leader.
I finished my last night on board in bed with a cocktail. I'd never done that before at home. How do I summarise my 16-night Moroccan adventure on board Sky Princess? Amateurish. I couldn't wait to disembark. and this may have been avoided if guest relations had acted properly. It's as though this was Sky Princess's first ever cruise and they were learning for the first time how to run a cruise ship. Would I cruise with Princess again? Very unlikely. I couldn't wait to get off Sky Princess. It wasn't a pleasant experience to be aboard, despite being looked after by the bar and waiting staff. Whilst I explain about how my feedback to Princess went, have a look at some of the comments from other passengers on this cruise. Let me know if you would like me to send a link to them. I ended up emailing Princess in Southampton whilst on board, as guest relations were useless. In typical fashion, and clearly not having read the email properly, or not caring, all Southampton did was send my email back to the ship to deal with. I did receive a phone call from Michael, the guest relations supervisor, on the Wednesday evening, who told me a lot of passengers on board were in the same situation, and as it was so serious, we would receive a letter from the company and to ring him in a few days' time if it was not received. I assumed it would be an apology and an offer of compensation of some description. In true Princess fashion, nothing was received, so I called Michael back a few days later and he said we would receive a letter when we arrived home. Of course, nothing was received after a month, and I had to email Princess in Southampton again. One thing Michael did say is that he had trained the guest relations staff for an hour that day and he would do some further training with them the next day. Southampton weren't effective, didn't read my emails properly and gave stock answers, for example, telling me there would always be noise on a cruise ship. You'd have thought in 26 cruises I'd be well aware of that. But the noise of the motor going throughout the night, nearly every night, was extreme. Southampton did say that as Sky Princess carry in excess of 3,000 guests, it's inevitable that some queues may be experienced. As a gesture of goodwill, I was offered £100 future cruise credit with 3 days in which to book another cruise. So of course, that led me to emailing them again, which elicited a reply demonstrating my emails had not been read or understood, increasing the offer of a future cruise sailing to £200 in full and final settlement, hoping I'll be able to travel with them again to give them the opportunity to fully restore my faith in Princess. So I wasted just under £5,000 on a cruise fiasco. Will I book another cruise on Princess and use that £200? I'll leave that up to you to decide. I hope my fellow passengers recovered from COVID. I believe some of the solo passengers who dined together in a group may have been affected. This is why, since COVID, I have yet to dine with solo travellers and continue to dine alone. It's the safest way, and so far I have avoided COVID during the 6 cruises I have taken since the pandemic, on MSC, Cunard, P&O and Princess. If you've watched all my Sky Princess episodes, thank you so much. I'm so sorry to bring negative content, and I hope you found the positive parts of this series enjoyable. I want to reiterate the bar and waiting staff were amazing throughout. Please give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and I would be extremely grateful if you would subscribe to my channel, which won't cost you anything and will help me immensely. I'll be bringing other content soon, and I have a very special cruise booked for March 2023, and that definitely is a reason to subscribe. May I wish you fair winds and following seas.